Kurt. Kurt, thank you so much. Kurt! Kurt, where's your cufflink? Your cufflink.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Maureen's older sister. I want to start by congratulating Maureen and Dan and thanking you all for being here tonight. And Maureen, I can't go on without telling you how beautiful you look tonight. Whenever you get asked to write a speech like this, there's always a lot of pressure. It can't be too long, it can't be too short, and it can't be too funny since Mike and Beach will take care of that. Like most sisters, Maureen and I have been through it all. We've laughed together on our best days and cried together on the worst. When we were kids, Maureen wanted to do everything I did. She wanted to wear my clothes, play with my friends, tag along all over the neighborhood. I even remember going to Disney World, and as kids, when getting the characters' autographs was the most amazing thing to us for some reason. Maureen had to get every autograph that I got. But when Lauren came along, and Maureen forgot about me. And then she got to know what it was like to have someone as her sidekick. The times have definitely changed as we grew up. I'm the one now borrowing her clothes, hanging out with her and her friends, and stealing her classroom ideas. I'm so lucky to have such a caring, trustworthy, and honest sister. Plus it helps that she has a remarkable wardrobe. By the way, I am going to be needing a key for my weekly shopping visits to Maureen's closet. Since Dan has been in Maureen's life, he has brought out the best qualities in my sister. I have never seen her as happy as she is when she's with Dan. I still remember meeting him and the whole crew up at Penn State for the first time, and boy was it a party, but I'm sure it will be tonight. But I knew then that he was a keeper. Through the years of family dinners and vacations, parties, our love for Dan has only grown. I know that I can speak for my whole family when I say that we feel so lucky to have him in our family now. Maureen and Dan, I love you both. Always remember the special day and how you feel now. Let us raise our glasses to the surviving levels. To Maureen and Dan, and a long and happy life together.
Senior Formation of Honor, everyone. Our next toast will be opened by our best men, Mike and Brian.
There's somebody shuffling, I don't know who it is.
That's funny. Before I tell a very short story, I'd like to do two things. First, a very special thank you should be extended to Maureen's mother, Donna, and Dan's parents, Fran and Kathy, for bringing all of us together here tonight for a very special night with two very special people. It's certainly a night we'll never forget. Some of us might not remember. And before I tell the story again, I'm going to do one more thing. Doc, could you stand up for me real quick?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ryan Doherty. He's one of our groomsmen tonight. He's one of our better looking ones. He's not the best looking one because Danny Yields in the wedding party. But he's certainly a headliner. Folks, if you get anything from what I'm going to say over the next minute or so, it should be this. When we get back to the hotel bar tonight, you should find yourself either in a conversation with Doc while he's near the bar, or just merely standing close to Doc while he's at the bar. Because the guy can't help himself but buy drinks for everyone. I've been taking advantage of it for a long time. I know Danny Neal's been taking advantage of it for a long time. It works the best when we're down the shore because beers are a little bit more expensive. It also works from a long distance. Would everyone put their right hand behind their head just like this? Yeah. If you need a drink, if you make eye contact with Doc from across the room, you give him that, yo, Doc! He will buy the drink impersonally walking across the room. Sorry. All right, Mike and I, we talked a little bit about what we're going to say tonight, and I said after I embarrassed Doc, I'd keep it very short. Speaking of short, but I'll never forget the first time I realized how much taller I am than Dan. Let me paint the picture real quick. St. Paul's at Visitation, 1998. Visitation's having a very good season. Dan and Mike are probably two of the best players in the region, regardless of what Bob Careless tells you. St. Paul's is having a very blue-collar season. We're right in the thick of things. A win this late at Visitation would mean a lot. Anyhow, it's late in the game, early fourth quarter, mid-fourth quarter. Hold on. The ball comes off the glass. Mike and I both go for it. Not surprising to anyone in this room right now, including my old man. I don't know where he's at right now. There he is right there. Mike comes down with the majority of the ball, but I kind of have Mike in a headlock with just enough of the ball to get a tie-up, to get a jump ball. Before I can even look at the scores table, twin brother Dan is right in my face. He rips the ball out of my hands, looks up to me, and without saying a word, scares the daylights out of me. Extremely frightens me. But that's the first time I realized I was a lot taller than you. That was second to the fact I was completely terrified. Visitation goes on to win the game. I don't really remember the score. 43-39. And Mike and Dan like to tell a story that I apologize a couple times. I said I'm sorry. So we still get laughs from that story. But that's the first time I realized I was a lot taller than Dan. But that look he gave me that afternoon when he looked up to me. We fast forward a year from then, it became the look of a best friend. It became the look of someone who I could go to for advice, I could go to because I trusted. Whether we were on the basketball court, the baseball field, or even today, if I went to Dan Raff and he looked up to me, he said something, I was going to listen. And it's because of one reason. I can't put into words how much I respect that guy. So with that, I have a confession. I'm going to tie this up in a nice ribbon here. Dan, you come from an amazing family. Your parents are two of the most wonderful people I've ever met. Janice and I have become very good friends over the last couple of years. I consider Mike a best friend. Your aunts and uncles and all your cousins on both sides have always welcomed all of us into family parties and holiday gatherings with open arms. You're now married into an equally amazing family. You've tricked the most beautiful bride I've ever seen into marrying you. So what I'm going to say next, I say with 100% confidence that these other 7 guys that stood with you today on the altar, they would agree with me. Today, man, I'm looking up to you.
We wouldn't have a special day without my mother and father, along with Mrs. You know, they like to joke, you know, it's a whole twin thing. You know, I know what he's thinking, he knows what I'm thinking. But I think it just comes down to, you know, we're men of few words. And, you know, always have, always will be. So, today, you know, we kind of put an end to the one chapter in our lives. But, you know, for the next chapter, I'm really looking forward to it. And I, for one, cannot be more happy for Dan and Maureen to start their lives again. So. Those of you who don't really know Dan that well, he's the type of person I would say that, you know, always looking for the next big thing, the next, you know, best thing. So, my Aunt Elaine, I don't know where she is, but Dan's first car happened to be a 1985 Chevy Celebrity. God rest my aunt's mother's soul, but it was my aunt's mom's car, a little beat up at the time, but you would have thought, you know, Dan saw this, and within a week, literally, he got new paint job, new stereo system, these fake hubcaps that, and even at Wartburg here, we put on some fresh window tint, so it worked out pretty well. And he actually, you know, like, and then even when he bought his new house, he was always looking for the new, big, best thing, you know, anything out there Dan wanted. So, you know, when we first moved in, it was the big and best TV. Obviously, I paid for half of it, but, you know, new lawn, new windows, you know, you name it, Dan had to have it, right? So, but again, through all that time, you know, we've been two best of friends, and for now, you know, he has a new best friend, Maureen. And I don't know how many of you guys know when they met, but they worked together in a summer camp in Plymouth a few years back. And I remember one night we're all hanging out with fellas, and Dan starts talking about this girl he's working with, right? And you know how great she is, and how amazing she is, and how he really can't wait to get to know her, right? And being Kendrick guys, you know, for me, I'm thinking, all right, this girl's from Carroll, how she actually big, But I don't agree with Dan too often, but on this particular occasion, I would have to completely agree. Maureen, you were one of the most kind, warmest hearted people I've ever met. And Dan, you were very lucky to find a person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. And she's beautiful. And to be honest, I think probably the only one who could stand putting up with the OCD. If you do not use a toaster in Dan's house, you are shunned. You are not allowed that. So, but to know, I think I speak on behalf of my sister and I. We've considered you a sister for many years now. I think today this finally makes it official. And on behalf of the entire Rafferty and Bennett family, I think I can speak and say, you know, welcome to the family. We're bringing on a great new addition, so we love you.
Here we go.
With that said, everyone would join me in raising their glass to have a couple.
Hey, Mike.
Dan and Maureen, I wish you guys
Oh, I'm
a
sorry.
lifetime of great health.
Did I screw you up?
And,
Did I screw you up?
very much.
Was I screwing you